because that is dangerous from the point of view of spreading the virus, and that is against the regulations, and that's where we will go in.
And Marks and Spencer's is to reopen 49 of its cafes across the UK from tomorrow for takeaways. The retailer says it'll operate social distancing. That's the latest. I'm Robin Montague.
Assalamu alaikum, listeners. You are listening to Rafia Hussain on your very own show, Our Children, Our Future. Hope you are all well, inshallah, and you have had a fantastic week, hopefully, whatever may that be, whether you have stayed at home or whether you've, obviously we know we've had some changes this week with the government announcing that some people are supposed to be going back to work. So whether that's a new transition, a new phase, and whether you're slowly, gradually getting back to work or whatever it may be, I hope you have had a good week. A relaxing week if you're at home, Ramadan as well. So fasting, obviously, the routine sort of changes there automatically. And we are already, over 2 weeks into Ramadan, nearly 3 weeks now. So we've not got long to go. The days are actually flying by. So, during Ramadan, obviously we know we all want to maximize the rewards because it's extra reward for everything we do. Okay, and one highly rewarding act is gaining knowledge. Anything you do, obviously, it's a rewarding act in Ramadan. But I think one really important thing is that we are actually improving ourselves, making ourselves better. And for anyone out there, it's so important that we are gaining knowledge. And I don't think, I don't necessarily mean just knowledge by listening to the news. And, obviously that's very important. It's important to know what's happening around the world and being up to date with things. But religious knowledge, spiritual knowledge, knowledge about how things function, knowledge about who we are, the purpose of life, all of these things, and just improving ourselves each day by gaining knowledge. And even if it's just one new fact a day, that goes a long way. Because after 30 days, you know 30 new things that you probably didn't know before. So see how wonderful that is. It is so important. There's also a hadith of our Prophet ﷺ who said one of the most important things is for any Muslim or any human being is to gain knowledge, because without knowledge we are ignorant. We are just like animals, basically. We don't know any different. So the more knowledge you have, alhamdulillah, the better it is for you to function in society. Okay. Right. The idea there is, obviously, for the last couple of weeks or so, we've had a guest on our show, Brother Sayyid Dalit, who's come onto our show, and he's been sharing with you a lot of tips about Ramadan, and hopefully, going back to my point there, helping you gain that little bit of knowledge. Even from our show every week, if it's just one new fact that you can take away or one new tip that you can take away, alhamdulillah, that can make such a difference. So we are going to invite Brother onto our show again today and hopefully continue with this important topic that we have been talking about, of Ramadan and all on obviously the virtues of Ramadan, etc., so that hopefully you can improve your knowledge a little bit more. So the topic today is going to be, how does fasting during Ramadan actually help us? What are the benefits? So inshallah, we are going to be looking at some of the spiritual benefits of how it might make you a better person. And but most importantly, because Brother is a scientist himself, hopefully he can shed a light on some of the scientific benefits of Ramadan, and some of the scientific benefits, especially for your body, what sort of benefits there are as well. So, Assalamu alaikum, Brother. Are you okay? Are you still there?
Wa alaikum salam. Are you okay?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. How's your Ramadan going?
Alhamdulillah, shukr. Yeah, it's like I said last week, mashallah, just flying through very quickly. Before we know it, it'll all be completed.
Yeah, that's it. Just 10 days to go, I think. Wow. Okay,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so last week, obviously, we discussed some very important topics of how Ramadan should improve you as a person. Obviously, we talked about the virtues of Ramadan. We talked about a little bit about how parents can get their children actively engaged on board during this month and make these sort of little changes. I think you discussed about how we need to actively do this. Like, for example, sometimes parents and children are sitting in the same room, but there's very little interaction. So how we can improve the interaction, etc. But I think this week it will be nice to also focus on, yes, all of this is obviously explained to us, how Ramadan actually helps you. A question for you is, I wanted you to maybe talk to us a little bit about the spirituality. How does Ramadan actually make you a better person? What are the benefits of fasting?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. It's a very good question, Kingston. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you quite rightly said, literally got 10 days left, and before we know it, the fasting will finish, the whole 30 days will be completed, and often we sit back and not realize or get the full potential and benefit from these days. Alhamdulillah, one of the things that allows us to do is to reflect on what's going through during the day and why we're doing it. So the key examples of us trying to spiritually benefit is, number one, fasting actually brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because, clearly we've gone out of our way and moved away from our normal day-to-day eating and drinking. So we are going through a sense of hardship, if you like, because, we can't eat, we can't drink anymore. So it makes you think, well, why is that? The natural question comes into your mind. Why are we suddenly stopping from ourselves from eating and drinking? Because in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the faith of Allah, because He's asked us to do this. Now, many upon many blessings there are, and often as a human being we don't understand, what the benefits are. And alhamdulillah, when we seek knowledge, like you said, and we try to educate ourselves, we realize how much knowledge deep down and the blessings that we are getting from doing these things. So, the youngsters might say, why do we need to starve all through the day? We don't realize that it's only to benefit us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't say, right, okay, I want to see everybody go through hardship within this month, within a year. What if it can only benefit us? So these are the kind of benefits. So number one is, it's kind of bringing you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's trying to make you understand, why is He asking us to stop eating and drinking. So clearly you have to begin to have that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and start to think about, why you're doing this. And then it kind of teaches you the patience and self-control that, okay, we have to refrain ourselves from eating until it's the set time to eat again. And it starts to build that inner strength. And and I know that in life, if you don't have that inner strength, we give in to urges and needs all the time. And it's kind of a jihad enough, because it's building up that inner strength and that patience. And it's, if you can, clearly, if you ask the non-Muslims and they say, my God, no way could we ever do this. I don't know how you can do this. And we look at ourselves, we look how easy it is. Alhamdulillah, even youngsters are getting to do this. There's a difference there, because we build up that inner strength. And if we can have that self-endurance, then in life you can give up all the bad habits in the rest of the year, because of this build-up of inner strength and self-control that you are having.
MashaAllah,
so again,
definitely.
Yeah. So again, that's one of the benefits of spiritually being able to have that inner strength and jihad enough, so that you can overcome other hurdles in life by going through this month. Another example is that clearly, the obvious one is that it's helping you to feel, not just understand there are poor people in the world. It's making you feel that here, right, that you are sat down now and you're going to open your fast and you're going to go to the food that's on the table, take 1 second and understand that you could be in another part of the world where you may not have this blessing, you know, and you may not have, we're so privileged here that we have food in front of us, you know, 2, 3 different varieties of food. There are people out there who it's normal for them. Every other day was similar to this day.
Definitely, 2/3 of the world's population.
Yeah. Sorry?
2/3 of the world's population.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So, you know,
poverty.
It goes to show that you are now understanding that what we're going through on a daily basis. And if you didn't fast in this month, you would never ever be in that situation where you're feeling and relating to the other people in the world. And this is why you need to be more thankfulness towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings of every drop of food and water that you consume. It's a blessing. He could remove it at any point in time. And this is why he continues to says it in the Holy Quran that, you know, you do not thank me enough. You know, you just forget the blessings that I've given you. And there's so many blessings, which ones will you deny? And, you know, alhamdulillah, it just makes you clearly think that we have so many blessings and, you know, we never thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. So clearly there's an example there of reflecting again and taking things for granted. And also the fact is as well, I don't know if I mentioned last week as well, fasting makes you a bit more humble. You know, often we find throughout our lifetimes, you know, mashallah, we might gain education and get a degree or 2 degrees. We might have a very a good job, a well-paid job, or we may have the flashy cars and so much money in our bank account, and we get a sense of pride sometimes without even knowing it. But this month really makes you, you know, understand and breaks that pride down. You know, it makes you reflect, right, that we are all the same, and the bounty that we've been given. And again, it makes you recognize that, and you know, and it makes you think that you're equal. Every single person is equal. Unlike, you know, when we were going to our mosque, and we were seeing, we were all going through the same thing. We would be, you know, breaking our fast together, we'd be eating the same things together, and we were all equal and the same. You know, just like Hajj, when you go, if nobody looks at somebody else and they've got a different type of outfit, and you know, or he's some high person, everybody's the same because they're wearing the same pieces of cloth and they're doing the same thing. Now here, this month is an example again. We're all doing the same thing, we're all equal. So again, it reflects on the fact that, you know, how fortunate you were, but now you need to come down and be that bit more humble and have that piety.
Alhamdulillah.
So again, you know, alhamdulillah, mashallah, again, you know, and like I said, you know, we can't imagine. It's only when you gain more and more knowledge and understanding, you realize how much of a benefit there is in fasting. Now, clearly, fasting is good for the health, and this is where I'm going to start making this link to the science side then eventually, because, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that, you know, He's created us, He knows how our body and our functionality works and how our digestive system is, and we are constantly eating, so our digestive system is working, our stomachs are full, and so much energy involved in breaking food down. So you imagine most part of the day, the body is not using the energy to break the food down. So what it's doing? It's doing what it was built to do, and that is to try and repair the rest of your body, the rest of your organs. Or often what you find is because you're eating so much, the body has to rush to try and repair the broken and damaged muscles and the cells, and often it can't do it that well because so much energy is used in digesting your food. But in this month, your health starts to improve because there's a vast amount of energy there to go and repair other parts of your body. And often, I don't know about yourself, but you know, I feel you get a lot of aches and pains during this month because your body is going back and repairing the older wounds that were perhaps, were brushed up very quickly. So that is one aspect of the body trying to utilize this energy to improve and repair the rest of your body. Now, there's a lot of research has also gone into and how things are we okay for time?
Yeah, we are. Carry on. We're talking about research, scientific research to back this up.
Yeah, so a lot of the research has been gone into fasting, and all the benefits from detoxifying, where your body's trying to get rid of and cleanse itself, and we all know this. This happens because your organs are functioning a lot better, and therefore it kind of get rid of all the toxins within the body. It improves the metabolism. Clearly, people use it for weight loss. Yes, I mean, normally what happens is the glucose that you're eating. We obviously have carbohydrates and proteins when we come to eat, and what happens is that they're broken down to provide the energy that we need. Now, when we are not consuming as much, then the glucose that is used to break down to help us to get that energy is no longer there. So the body starts to break down protein and also starts to burn fat to gain that energy. So there, hence, you start to get weight loss. So that's an example.
MashaAllah, I think there's a lot of celebrities out there as well that actually they can bet their money on fasting diets. Just really they do go from periods of time where they do fast for several days, and they do say that it does really detoxify your whole body.
Yeah, and there's so much studies out there. There's things like ketosis and ketogenesis, where ketones are released within the body to show that your fat's been burned because of lack of carbohydrates, and that those actually improve your brain, your focus as well. So it improves the alertness. I don't know about yourself, sister, but do you not find sometimes that your smell increases a lot more? Before you couldn't smell as much, and now all your senses are magnifying a lot more, starting to work a lot better. You begin to smell things from a distance where before you couldn't.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know whether that's because I'm just so hungry all the time during Ramadan.
No.
That's because
yeah. It sharpens and improves the body so much. Again, look, that's what we're talking about. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. These are the benefits that we're getting. I mean, the science is barely touching on what Islam is already leading. We just don't happen to have that knowledge. The immune system increases, and you're getting a better defense and an immune mechanism, decrease in blood pressure, like I said, blood sugar drops, and all these things that we in our culture have when we get older, and all diabetes, type 2, and all these other examples that we have. It actually helps and benefits. I mean, I know many people who suffer from diabetes. They've made their diet lavish in the younger years, and therefore they have difficulty. But alhamdulillah, through their doctor's consultation, they've been able to fast, and they've said it's been so easy and helpful for them, because it's the actual fasting period has helped them do that. I was mentioning about the research on this as well, and would you believe that? I don't know. We've got 2 more minutes on this.
Yeah, we have. We've got about 3 minutes.
Okay. Research was saying that there are examples of, if you fast, there's a ratio of 5 to 2, where if you fast 2 days within a 7-day week, then you get a vast amount of benefits And alhamdulillah, our Prophet used to fast 2 days within the week of every week. So again, it's saying that, with this intermittent fasting, it improves the health conditions such as obesity and, like I mentioned, diabetes, and also cardiovascular diseases, cancers, neurological disorders. I mean, so much. There was something quickly on that paper that was published, effects of intermittent fasting on health, aging and disease, in the New England Journal of Medicine. And they talked about how the body, when they did research with the animals and the humans, how the body benefited so much and decreased all these adverse effects of our body, and improved so much in terms of resisting from diseases. And when it comes to cancer as well, they've researched the fact that it actually increases the cancer-killing cells in the body when you fast. And up to the fact that, alhamdulillah, and there was another research, fairly new research, I think it was in America, where they were saying that if, for example, you were to fast 1 month after the whole year, you could increase those cancer cells and shrink the tumors within the body. And that we're just touching on this at the moment. So, mashallah, 1 month in the whole year, we're already doing that.
Mashallah,
and they're going on to looking at this fact that if you were to fast and have this boost of a month within the year, you could actually shrink tumors.
Mashallah. But that's so interesting. I need to read up on that, about the cancer. But it's do you think it's really important, though, that we sort of balance this out with what we have during Iftari time and avoid the sort of oily stuff and...
Yeah,
tend to have a lot of this.
Again, we returned what we said last week, that you can't have that benefit of the whole day of not eating and then eat everything that you're not supposed to eat. So if you eat in moderation, if you avoid the oily stuff, if you avoid too much sugar stuff, and you would feel it as well. I mean, I don't know about yourself, but I feel when I'm going to eat some sugary stuff, I feel I can taste the sugar a lot more. And it makes you wonder that, you need to be cutting down on, the fizzy drinks, sugary drinks, for example, a lot of the sweet dishes that we tend to make. I'm not saying don't eat them, because obviously, we tend to, in our culture, make this, but, miss a few days and do alternatives. So clearly, not so much oily and frying stuff, like you said, and the carbohydrates, the proteins, a bit of fat. You still need fat for your brain cells to come to work. But in moderation, and plenty of water.
In moderation.
The dates, Sister Rafia, alhamdulillah, again, if we could spend a whole half an hour on this, the benefits of eating a date, the amount of nutrients that are in a date, and all the nutrients and the metals and all the other magnesium and sodium and all these other elements that are in there, they can replace, right, throughout the whole body. If you wasn't going to eat anything the whole day, those dates, when you open your fast, right, they just put everything back into your body again, and alhamdulillah, they're packed with vitamins and minerals in there.
Mashallah. Inshallah, that's a very interesting one. We can actually continue with this, and maybe, like you said, we can go on forever, but we can talk about the dates, inshallah, next week. Right, we are coming towards the end of the show. Thank you, brother, for coming on today, and inshallah, we will continue next week.
Sheffield's Link FM.
Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Allah
This is important information from the government about getting tested for coronavirus. You will be able to have a test if you have symptoms and you fall into any of the